Veronica Lake's story is one of both dazzling success and heartbreaking downfall. She entered Hollywood in the early 1940s with a unique charm that made her an instant sensation. Known for her signature peekaboo hairstyle and sensual screen presence, audiences adored her, and she quickly became a symbol of the era's glamour. But the demands of fame, coupled with personal struggles and the pressures of the film industry, led to a rapid decline in her career. As her star waned, Lake's life became increasingly difficult, marked by financial hardship and personal turmoil. At just 50 years old, she passed away in obscurity, far from the fame and adulation she once enjoyed. What went wrong for a woman who once commanded the screen? This is the story of a life lived in the harsh glare of Hollywood's spotlight, and the shadow it cast upon a woman who, despite everything, never stopped fighting to reclaim her place. Born as Constance Frances Marie Ockelman on November 14, 1922, in Brooklyn, New York, Veronica Lake's early life was marked by profound challenges. When she was only 10 years old, her father, Harry Eugene Ockelman, who worked aboard a ship for an oil company, tragically lost his life in an industrial explosion. This sudden loss left her mother, also named Constance, to shoulder the responsibility of raising her children on her own. Just a year later, Veronica's mother remarried Anthony Keene, a change that would deeply affect Veronica's life, and even her name. The family relocated to Miami, Florida, where Veronica began her high school years in a completely new environment, far from the familiarity of her childhood home. These early years were a mix of tragedy and adaptation as Veronica navigated the emotional weight of losing her father, adjusting to a new stepfather, and adjusting to the demands of a new life. As she moved through these formative years, Veronica's resilience and ability to adapt would play an important role in shaping her future. After her mother remarried, Veronica Lake's life took a significant turn. The family relocated to Miami, where they adapted to new surroundings and a different lifestyle. This change also brought a shift in Veronica's identity, as her stepfather, Anthony Keene, became a father figure in her life. With the new family structure, Veronica's name was officially changed from Constance Ockelman to Constance Keene, marking the beginning of a new chapter. During this period, her mother began to notice Veronica's striking beauty, and, recognizing the potential for her daughter to gain attention, encouraged her to enter local beauty contests. These contests introduced Veronica to the world of glamour and public recognition, and she began to develop a sense of what it would mean to be in the spotlight. The transition to Miami not only changed her family dynamics, but also set the stage for Veronica's future in the entertainment industry. The new environment, along with the support of her mother and the encouragement to pursue beauty pageants, gave Veronica the confidence to dream bigger. It was during these formative years that she first began envisioning a career beyond the ordinary, taking the first steps toward her eventual transformation into one of Hollywood's most iconic actresses. During her high school years in Miami, Veronica was diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia, a revelation that her mother often mentioned but was never fully confirmed through medical records. This diagnosis, whether accurate or not, added an extra layer of complexity to Veronica's already tumultuous life. She reportedly refused treatment, a decision that may have influenced her later behaviors, including mood swings, erratic tendencies, and difficulties in personal and professional relationships. The stigma surrounding mental health at the time likely exacerbated her struggles, as she faced internal battles while attempting to conform to societal expectations. These challenges would later resurface in her career and personal life, underscoring the difficulties she faced in maintaining stability while pursuing her ambitions. Encouraged by her mother, Veronica Lake began entering beauty contests throughout Florida, sparking the start of her journey toward stardom. Although she didn't believe herself to be particularly talented, Veronica stood out with her remarkable appearance and the confidence she carried. Her ability to captivate the audience with her striking looks and bold personality set her apart from other contestants, drawing attention and admiration. A signature move during her beauty pageant competitions involved a daring act of removing a dress to reveal a swimsuit underneath, displaying both her audacity and charm. This move was a clear sign of her innate charisma, which helped her stand out in a crowd. In 1938, at the young age of 16, Veronica entered the Miss Miami pageant. Confident in her beauty and ambition, she boldly declared to her fellow contestants that she would win. Despite her certainty, she finished in third place, a result that might have deterred someone else. But Veronica's response was a defining moment in her life. She made a statement that would shape her future. She would head to Hollywood, regardless of the outcome of the contest. This declaration turned out to be prophetic, as she would soon find her place in the entertainment world, where she would become an iconic figure. Her resilience and determination, even when facing setbacks, hinted at her ability to overcome obstacles and achieve greatness. Her journey into Hollywood was marked by this same unwavering spirit, and despite her early challenges, she would later become one of the most memorable actresses of her time. Veronica Lake's beauty contests were not just competitions for recognition, but pivotal moments that showcased her drive, ambition, and readiness to conquer the world. Her story is a testament to the power of confidence and persistence in the face of adversity. In the summer of 1938, Veronica Lake's family decided to leave their familiar surroundings and embark on a journey to Hollywood. They made the cross-country trip, arriving on July 4th, a day that would come to symbolize the start of a new and promising chapter in her life. Upon reaching Hollywood, Veronica took her first step toward achieving her dream by enrolling in acting classes at the prestigious MGM's Bliss Hayden School of Acting, which is now known as the Beverly Hills Playhouse. This formal education in acting helped her build a solid foundation for her future in film. At the start of her career, she faced challenges and took on small background roles, including minor appearances for RKO Pictures. One notable role was in the 1939 film Sorority House, where she played a part that was eventually cut from the final version of the film. This early setback could have discouraged many, but Veronica remained determined. Her mother, a driving force behind her ambitions, continued to push her toward success despite the obstacles she faced. These formative years in Hollywood were a crucial period for Veronica Lake, where she learned to be resilient and prepared herself for the tough, competitive world of film. This period would go on to shape her future as she worked to overcome the odds and pursue her dream of stardom in the highly demanding entertainment industry. Veronica Lake's journey to fame was marked by persistence and a relentless commitment to her craft. Her early roles in films like All Women Have Secrets, Dancing Co-Ed, and 40 Little Mothers were modest, but they played a crucial part in building her career. Despite the minor nature of these roles, each one helped her gain attention, especially from Paramount Pictures. The studio saw potential in Veronica, recognizing her natural talent and striking beauty, which set her apart from other actresses trying to make it in Hollywood. While she was still in the process of finding her place in the competitive industry, these small but significant parts helped establish a foundation for her rise to stardom. Her dedication to honing her craft was evident, and with each role, she demonstrated versatility and the ability to adapt to a range of characters and genres. Paramount's growing interest in her marked the beginning of her eventual breakthrough. They saw Veronica as someone who could be molded into a star, and their support was a pivotal moment in her career. As a result, these early roles not only gave her the experience she needed, but also introduced her to the larger Hollywood machine, which was ready to help her reach the heights of fame. Veronica Lake's rise to fame is closely tied to the accidental creation of her iconic look. While filming I Wanted Wings, a military drama, she was cast as a nightclub singer. During the shoot, a mishap led to her hair falling over one of her eyes. This simple accident created the peekaboo hairstyle that would become her trademark. The style captured the public's imagination, making her a sensation. Young women across the United States began copying the look, cementing her place as a trendsetter and a symbol of glamour. The success of I Wanted Wings played a significant role in propelling Veronica to stardom. She quickly became one of Paramount Pictures' most bankable stars, drawing attention not only for her talent, but for her unique, alluring appearance. However, the studio believed a name change would help solidify her Hollywood image. They chose the name Veronica Lake, inspired by her striking features and cool, mysterious gaze. The new moniker worked perfectly, aligning with the glamorous aura of the era, and cementing her legacy as one of the defining actresses of Hollywood's golden age. Her combination of talent, beauty, and signature look made Veronica Lake a household name. As her fame grew, so did the popularity of her style, and her name became synonymous with the Hollywood starlet of the 1940s. With a single accident, she not only transformed her own career, but also influenced an entire generation's beauty standards. Veronica Lake quickly rose to the top of Hollywood's elite, becoming a symbol of beauty and talent. She showcased her charisma in a series of successful films that established her as a star. By 1940, she married art director John Detley, who was 14 years older than her, and the couple had a daughter, Elaine, in 1941. This marked a period of balancing family life with her rapidly growing career. Her role in Sullivan's Travels and I Married a Witch solidified her status as a Hollywood icon. Critics and audiences praised her performances, and despite her youth, Veronica projected an air of sophistication that made her stand out. Her ability to adapt to the demands of fame, while still remaining grounded in her personal life, reflected her determination. This combination of professional and personal balance helped her leave a legacy that would last long after her peak years in Hollywood. Despite her meteoric rise to fame, Veronica Lake faced numerous personal challenges that began to overshadow her career. Her insecurities about her abilities and her struggle to maintain a strong sense of self led her to adopt a tough exterior. As she became more successful, the pressure to live up to her public image grew, and she found it increasingly difficult to separate the person she was from the persona the world expected her to be. The weight of this emotional burden contributed to her turning to alcohol as a means of coping. She began drinking heavily, which only added to the strain in her personal life. Her behavior and her reliance on alcohol became well known, and it wasn't long before she earned a reputation for being difficult to work with. While many male stars of the time exhibited similar behavior, Veronica's actions were viewed more harshly because of the societal expectations placed on women in Hollywood. There was little room for vulnerability or personal struggles when it came to female actresses. The pressures she faced as a woman in the public eye were compounded by her internal battles, and she struggled to find the balance between fame and personal fulfillment. Her attempts to navigate the complexities of fame while preserving her identity created tensions both on and off set, leading to strained relationships with colleagues and loved ones. Over time, these issues became more difficult to ignore, overshadowing her once promising career and contributing to the challenges she faced later in life. Veronica Lake's marriage to John Detley began to unravel as her career gained momentum. As a rising star in Hollywood, Veronica found herself increasingly in the public eye, while John, a man of more private nature, struggled with the pressures of their relationship. One of the key sources of tension was his discomfort with being referred to as Mr. Lake. As Veronica's fame grew, it seemed to create a growing divide between the couple, and their marriage began to show signs of strain. In 1943, their relationship reached its breaking point following a tragic event on the set of one of Veronica's films. Pregnant with their second child, Veronica suffered an unfortunate accident when she tripped over a lighting cable. The incident caused her to go into premature labor, and the couple's son was born too soon. Tragically, the baby passed away shortly after birth. John's reaction to this devastating event was cold and distant. He did not visit Veronica or the hospital until days later, further intensifying the emotional toll on her. This heartbreaking loss, combined with the ongoing marital discord, proved to be too much for the couple to overcome. The tragedy of losing their son deeply affected Veronica, both emotionally and mentally, and it left an indelible mark on her personal life. Ultimately, the relationship could not be repaired, and the couple divorced shortly afterward, marking the end of their troubled marriage. Veronica's personal struggles were compounded by the loss, and the emotional scars from this period of her life would continue to affect her for years to come. As her reputation for being difficult to work with grew, Veronica Lake's career began to suffer. Initially, she had been one of the most celebrated actresses of her time, with her unique look and sultry presence becoming iconic in films. However, as the years passed, her personal struggles began to overshadow her professional life. Paramount Pictures, the studio that had played a pivotal role in her rise to stardom, started offering her fewer and fewer roles. The studio that had once been central to her success no longer saw her as a bankable star, and her career took a sharp downturn. Veronica's growing problems with alcohol and her increasingly erratic behavior on set made her a liability in an industry that valued professionalism. Many directors and producers became hesitant to work with her, fearing that her personal issues would interfere with the production. Her once promising career was beginning to crumble under the weight of her struggles. By the late 1940s, Paramount Pictures decided not to renew her contract, marking a pivotal turning point in her career. This decision left Veronica in a position where she could no longer secure leading roles in major films, and she was relegated to smaller, less significant parts in films that failed to capture the public's attention. Though she continued to act, the glory days of headlining major movies were behind her. Veronica's presence on screen became increasingly scarce, as she struggled to find projects that could bring her back to the heights of stardom. Despite her early success, and the potential many saw in her, her career trajectory became a cautionary tale of how personal demons can affect even the brightest stars. she remained a figure of fascination to many, but the days of the glamorous actress who once graced the covers of magazines and captivated audiences in films were long gone. Veronica Lake's financial struggles were deeply intertwined with both her personal choices and the unpredictable nature of the film industry. In the peak of her career, she earned millions, living a lavish lifestyle that matched her fame and success. However, this extravagant living came at a steep price, especially when combined with poor financial management. She and her second husband, director André Detoff, lived far beyond their means, spending money on luxuries and indulgences that strained their finances. Despite the riches she had accumulated, Veronica found herself unable to manage her wealth effectively, leading to mounting debts. In a crushing blow to her financial stability, Veronica declared bankruptcy after the IRS seized her home due to unpaid taxes. This loss of property marked a significant downturn in her once glamorous life, symbolizing the stark contrast between the celebrity she had been and the harsh realities she now faced. The situation worsened when her mother filed a lawsuit demanding support payments, further intensifying Veronica's emotional and financial burden. This legal battle, combined with the already overwhelming financial strain, left her in a vulnerable position. Her glamorous Hollywood life seemed like a distant memory as she navigated the challenges of bankruptcy, legal troubles, and strained family relationships, marking a dramatic shift in her life. After leaving Hollywood, Veronica Lake relocated to New York City, determined to rebuild her life far from the limelight. In contrast to her glamorous Hollywood days, she embraced a simpler existence, taking on various stage roles, while also working as a cocktail waitress under the alias Connie Detoff. Though her living conditions were modest, she found a sense of freedom in this quieter phase of her life, away from the expectations of fame. In 1962, a New York Post article exposed her situation to the public, revealing the extent of her struggles. This prompted an outpouring of sympathy from fans who offered financial assistance. However, in keeping with her fiercely independent nature, Veronica rejected the unsolicited help, returning the money and refusing to be viewed as a charity case. Despite the challenges she faced, she remained steadfast in her desire to live on her own terms, undeterred by the hardships that had come her way. The publicity surrounding Veronica Lake's life in New York brought a new wave of attention to her career. This exposure led to offers for stage and television roles that allowed her to remain active in the entertainment industry. While these roles were quite different from the glamorous Hollywood projects of her peak years, they gave her a sense of purpose and fulfillment. These opportunities were a testament to her resilience, as she navigated her career on her own terms, far removed from the expectations of her earlier fame. Despite facing public scrutiny, Veronica made the bold decision to live authentically, carving out a path that aligned with her personal values. Her ability to continue working in the industry, albeit in a different capacity, showcased her determination to maintain her dignity and navigate the shifting tides of public attention. In 1969, Veronica Lake made a return to Hollywood to receive her star on the Walk of Fame. She had hoped this occasion would be a triumphant homecoming, a moment to celebrate her impact on the industry. However, the event turned out to be a subdued affair with very few people in attendance, only 2 individuals being present for the ceremony. Despite the lack of fanfare or a larger crowd, the event held significant meaning. It was a recognition of her contributions to Hollywood, marking her as a key figure in the film industry, particularly during Hollywood's golden age. After the ceremony, Veronica returned to her quiet life, away from the limelight. She remained content, knowing that her work had made a lasting impact and left an indelible mark on the history of cinema. In her later years, Veronica Lake reflected on the highs and lows of her career and personal life. She published an autobiography where she openly shared her experiences in Hollywood, including the pressures and challenges she faced as a rising star. Through her honest words, she gave insight into the dark side of fame, such as the emotional and psychological toll it took on her. Lake also spoke about her personal struggles, particularly her battles with alcohol and the effects of aging. Despite these difficulties, she maintained her resilience, refusing to let her past define her. Her final film, Flesh Feast, marked a turning point. The movie reflected both the hardships she endured and her ability to still perform at a high level, even as the shadows of alcohol and time lingered. Veronica's talent continued to shine, and she found solace in her art, particularly in acting and storytelling, which allowed her to connect with audiences in a meaningful way. Even in the face of adversity, she remained determined to create and to be heard, proving that her passion for the craft never faded. Veronica Lake's life is a poignant reminder of the fragility of fame and the relentless pressures of the Hollywood system. She came into the industry as a captivating young star, admired for her beauty and distinctive style, quickly becoming one of the era's most beloved actresses. Yet, behind the glamour was a woman who struggled with personal demons and an industry that often chewed up and spit out its brightest stars. Her career, once on a meteoric rise, faltered as she faced obstacles both on and off the screen. The very allure that had made her a star began to fade, and with it, her position in Hollywood. Despite battling financial difficulties and personal challenges, she continued to fight, but the fight became too much. At the time of her death, she was a shadow of the glamorous icon she had once been. Veronica Lake's story serves as a reminder of the fleeting nature of stardom, the high cost of fame, and the human cost behind the headlines. Her life may have ended in obscurity, but the memory of her impact on cinema and the hearts of her fans endure.